This is McCook's Mr. Bill. It's an honor to have you here. I'm down here west of the McCook on the river. This is one of my grass bamboo gardens. Doing pretty good this year. No, not my land. See, I only own 1/10 of an acre in this old world, but I see a lot of land that's doing nothing, sitting idle. And so, rather than to let it sit idle, which is a crime against humanity for someone to own land and not do something with it, I do my own gardening on it. And a lot of us are starting to garden on land that is not ours. To put food on the table. I said put food on the table rather than to take taxpayer food stamps, because I think that's a crime too. Because if you got land, or if there's land out there, grow your own food. Grow your own food. Leave the taxpayer's money in his pocket. And if you have to bend the rules a little bit to do it, so be it. It's McCook's Mr. Bill. This is one of the things that I do, and I hope that you consider down the road for yourself. In the dark ages, if your neighbor didn't like you, or if the government needed an excuse to take your land, they just yelled witch. I said they just called you a witch. They took you out and tortured you one way or another. They got you to admit, or they just killed you as being a witch, and then they got your property. Or they got rid of you for whatever reason they might want to do that for. That was the dark ages. But I'm here to tell you, things aren't much different today. But I am having people nowadays, especially people that don't live here directly, they're asking me to check on their property now and then. Not to keep the druggies away, but to watch to see the government is not playing games. Now, it's well known that the government is watching for drugs along the river and other places too. And if they can catch you with drugs on your property, they can confiscate your land, your farm, whatever wealth you have, they can take. So do you think there might be some rogue cops or local governments, or even your state level people might conspire to plant a garden of marijuana on your property, someplace where you wouldn't notice it, but make it look like a man, the hand of man planted that said garden, for the very purpose of taking that land away from you for nothing? Well, enough people are thinking about that right now that I've had some people hire me to come down here on the river and make sure that no one is putting any marijuana patches on their ground so it can be taken. Now, true, it might just be a neighbor that doesn't like them, or hoping to get that land for pennies on the dollar. Or maybe it's the government or government employees hoping to pick up an extra $1 million one way or another at your expense. Not counting, you'll be spending a long time in prison for that marijuana patch on your land. So people pay me a few bucks to just simply go down every few weeks just to make sure that there aren't any gardens other than the ones that they allow me to plant down there on the river. So me and my blowgun, we go down there, and we have seen some things that would blow your mind. But that's for another video.